Hey guys, it's Chris. From an enormous liger named Hercules to the biggest animal to have ever existed, here are 9 of the biggest animals in the world. Number 9. Liger. The term big cats is a reference to the larger species of the cat kingdom like lions and tigers. But what's forgotten is that there's a slightly less common creature that is truly giant, and it's bred between 2 of the biggest cats. This is the liger. Yes, liger as in lion and tiger. Not only are they very real, the liger species is twice as big as their parents, truly putting them in the giant categories of animals of the world today. The largest liger in existence right now is named Hercules and can be found in Myrtle Beach's Safari Wildlife Preserve in South Carolina. If you're wondering just how big he truly is, Hercules is over 10 feet. In terms of height, he's over 4 feet tall and weighs over 900 pounds. And just think about what it would be like to be next to Hercules. You might be taller than him, but every other stat, he would just dwarf you. And though not recommended, it may be possible to ride him like a certain master of the universe given his girth. As if those feats weren't impressive enough, Hercules has shown he can run over 55 miles per hour and have a running leap of over 40 feet. Hercules also has the world record for the largest cat in the world today. Number 8. Giant Clam. The giant clam may be an animal that has giant in its name, and it does live up to that determination, but people's knowledge of the creature isn't what it should be because of media depictions. Depending on the film or TV show's intent, the giant clam has been shown as a monstrous creature that is well over the size of a human and is always up for devouring them if they get too close, or coming down on them in part and literally breaking them in half. While not accurate in intent, the size depicted can be fair, as the giant clam is the largest mollusk in the world today, with a diameter of about 4 feet. What's more, it can weigh over 500 pounds. But all of this comes at a cost, as the giant clam is one of the most endangered clam species in the world today, to the extent that many areas that once had the giant clam are now extinct in regard to their population in them. Not unlike many other underwater species, humanity is to blame for this. Japan especially hunts them down because they're a delicacy in terms of food. However, if you're wondering about whether the giant clam can kill humans, that requires context. The only way for a human to get hurt by one biting is if the person allows the clam to close its shell around a body part, which is extremely hard because of how slow the clam shell moves when it's closing. So if you see a giant clam, by all means appreciate its size. But don't fear it coming after you, because that's not really how it works. And now for an animal with 3 hearts, but first, be sure to subscribe to World List if you're new here for more awesome videos like this one. Number 7. Giraffe. In terms of pure height, the giraffe is the tallest creature on Earth right now, which is impressive given some of the other creatures that inhabit our world, as they're known to reach 20 feet in height at times. As you likely know, the giraffe's neck is the source of much of its incredible height, but not the sole reason, as its long legs also play a role. Regardless of that, though, it's been speculated by scientists that many giraffes honestly evolved into the form you see now, meaning that at one time it was likely much less giant. This was likely because where they live in Africa is full of animals that eat off the ground, which left the trees ripe for the picking, so to speak. So now they're the ones who get the food from the trees because they can easily reach them while others can't. It should also be noted that it's not just the adult giraffes that are giant. Their babies are sometimes born at a whopping 6 feet in height. They're so big that the mother giraffes have to give birth standing up. Giraffes also have 3 hearts to get that blood pumping through that enormously long body. There's a systemic main heart, and then 2 lesser hearts pump blood to the gills, where waste is discarded and oxygen is retrieved. They work like the right side of the human heart. The more you know. Number 6. African bush elephant. Elephants are majestic creatures that are known to be large in various ways, and the African bush elephant is not just the biggest among them, but believed to be the largest living terrestrial land animal on Earth as well. Its height up to its shoulders can reach up to 13 feet, and its length can be up to 24 feet. And when you combine that allows this elephant to weigh over 10 tons, meaning it has mass to do just about anything it wants, and not be easily taken down by foes, including humans with weapons. That also doesn't speak to their tusks and trunks, which they use to help get food, reach objects, and further defend against enemies. The African bush elephant is one of many elephant species who live in families and groups. They typically are nomadic in their lives, including moving through places like Africa, like Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Namibia, Zambia, and Angola, even going to entirely different habitats depending on the time of year and need. The African bush elephant is a herbivore, and adults can eat up to 300 pounds of food a day. But it should be noted that while you can kill them, it's ill-advised, because when charging at you or inciting the wrath of a pack of them would be a death sentence. Number 5. Green anaconda. Snakes are a very common thing in the world today, but in terms of ones that are truly giant, none can match the size of the green anaconda. To be fair though, just how giant they can be depends on the individual snakes. At times, it'll be between 17 and 20 feet. However, it can also be up to 27 feet long. And weight-wise, they can have around 550 pounds on them. And their size has led to many incorrect myths about them, including their killing ways and even where they live. They prefer to be in rivers and swamps in South America. Thus, if you're careful, you'll never have to see one. Though if you do, you wouldn't be at fault for admiring their size. Number 4. Coconut crab. There are all sorts of crabs all over the world, and each of them have their own appreciable size that helps them survive in various habitats. But there are a few that are truly giant. One, the Japanese spider crab, is giant via length and overall size, but the coconut crab is one that is all about pure mass and power. And we say that because the coconut crab is 3 feet long from leg to leg, making it the largest land-living arthropod in the world today. The Japanese sea crab is an ocean-dwelling crab, but as noted, the coconut crab is famous for its mass and power it derives from that. And its claws are to be feared, as this crab has the strength of its weight times 6. It's been documented that this crab's claw is as powerful as a lion's jaw. That allows it to be untouched in terms of predatory rivals. While the coconut crab do indeed eat coconuts, which is how they got their name, they're not opposed to eating other things too. They've been observed eating rats and even birds, which is a feat in and of itself. These crabs are powerful enough to even climb trees, hunt down the birds, and crush them with their claws so they can feed upon them. They've also been known to eat live pigs. Plus, should the situation be dire enough, they're willing to eat fellow coconut crabs or even eat parts of themselves. So in short, don't get between a coconut crab and where it's going. You just might regret it. Number 3. Colossal and giant squids. There are many legends of the deep oceans, and one of the most feared is of a giant beast known as the Kraken, a massive sea beast that could take down ships with its tentacles and be over 100 feet long according to fishermen's tales. But in truth, the biggest squid creatures on Earth are the colossal and giant squids, and they're believed to be the inspiration for the Kraken tales. The two species live in various parts of the ocean, including near Antarctica, and in the major oceans where sailors are known to have passed through. They even live in the depths of the Mariana Trench, showing their survivability in nearly all waters. The reason we believe that these two species are the legendary Kraken is because of their long tentacles and massive size. The largest known colossal squid to have been studied was only 15 feet long, but that's because they rarely are seen on the surface, and thus we can't get a true measure on them. Many times when we do see squids on the surface, it's because they're washed up on the beach. For the giant squid, it's a similar case, but they're estimated to be about 43 feet in length at max, which is still pretty big for the record, and more than enough to create a legend based on size. Their terrifying size and ability to ensnare prey with their massive tentacles is a reason many don't want to interact with them. Plus, due to where they live and how deep you have to go to meet them, finding these giant creatures are a scary experience all their own. Number 2, Komodo dragon. If you pictured a lizard right now, it would likely be small, like most lizard species. But there is a giant in their ranks that you likely know very well, and it's the Komodo dragon. Measuring up to 10 feet in length and over 300 pounds in certain cases, the Komodo dragon, without a doubt, is the largest living lizard in the world. What's more, they're also the most aggressive lizard of the bunch, never being afraid to stake its territory or lash out at someone, or something that gets in its way. And you might be wondering, were they always this way? And the answer to that is manyfold. Many think that the Komodo dragon was born because of giantism on the islands of Indonesia where it was discovered, and others feel that they share genes with ancient creatures that used to live in the area and in Australia, such as the megalania. In 1969, an American biologist named Walter Auffenberg moved to the Indonesian island of Komodo to study the most famous resident, the Komodo dragon. Considered the largest in the world, the Komodo dragon can grow up to 9 feet and can take down large prey like deer and water buffalo. Auffenberg spent a year on the island observing the real-life dragon and wrote about their mythical powers. Auffenberg noticed that large animals injured by the dragon soon developed fatal infections, and based on this observation and no actual evidence, he suggested that the dragons had a toxic bacteria as a form of venom. This explanation became widespread and can still be found in textbooks, wildlife documentaries, zoo placards, and more, but it's not true. In 2009, Brian Fry from the University of Queensland discovered the true culprit behind the dragon's lethal bite. He put a Komodo dragon in a medical scanner, which couldn't have been easy. It turned out the dragon has venom glands, which are loaded with toxins that lower blood pressure, cause massive bleeding, prevent clotting, and induce shock. Rather than using bacteria as venom, the dragon uses venom as venom. Plus, because of their size and power, they're the object of much affection, including their names, as they're felt to be the only true dragons on Earth, and they live up to part of that moniker, as dragons are supposed to be big, powerful, and scary. Number 1. Blue whale. There are many creatures on the land, sea, and sky that you can say are giant. But if you wish to find the biggest giant of them all, that would be the blue whale. The largest ever recorded blue whale was around 112 feet. The average for this whale species is about 100 feet, further cementing it as the largest creature on Earth. This is the largest confirmed animal that has ever lived. That's right, it's bigger than the T-Rex and the Megalodon and all kinds of other prehistoric creatures. We're living in the same time as the blue whale, so we should feel pretty special about that right now. However, even with its giant size, it's in a lot of danger. Coming into the 20th century, the blue whale was basically everywhere in terms of the world's oceans. But when the fisheries of the world came to be, they hunted them down, and the blue whales were nearly hunted into extinction. Thankfully, though, the blue whale population is bouncing back, which is the work of many people, and new regulations prohibiting or restricting their hunting. These giants are part of our world and deserve to be protected, just like all living things. Thanks for watching. What did you think of these giant animals that live in our world today? And which one's your favorite? Have you ever seen one or more of these giant animals up close? Make sure to let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe to World List, and we'll see you next time.